Becky Hammond has also been on record saying that the Las Vegas Aces was going to look like a completely different team for the 2025 season out of Unrivaled, which letting the world know that she was not taking part in that. But a lot of people were speculating that was because of her cigar company. I just think Kelsey Plum wants to get the hell away from Las Vegas, bro. She want out of the city. She want out of this organization.
And thriving in that. But at the end of the day, I can't really worry about that anymore. I got to worry about what's in this locker room and what we have going on, and that's what we continue to do is build on one another.
The Las Vegas Aces dynasty might be crumbling before our eyes. First, Kelsey Plum leaves, then Aja Wilson drops these eye-opening comments about her former teammate.
A'ja Wilson is back in the media, man, because we already know the media is going to push a certain type of agenda in regards to her relationship with Kelsey Plum.
I'm glad she's in a space she's happy, but I can't really worry about that anymore. Behind these seemingly innocent words lies a web of tension that's been building for years. Was there a power struggle we didn't see? Wilson mentioned they now have more honest conversations. What weren't they honest about before?
I think that's really how our relationship has evolved because she's just like my homegirl, but at the same time, we have those honest conversations more now than we ever had before.
The championship team that dominated the WNBA is falling apart, and I've got the inside scoop on exactly why. Like the video and subscribe to the channel to support us. And did you catch what Aja Wilson actually said about Kelsey Plum after she left the Las Vegas Aces? At first glance, her words seemed supportive and nice, but when you look closer, there's something brewing beneath the surface. Let's break this down. Aja said, "I'm glad that she's in a space that she's happy, healthy, and thriving in that. But at the end of the day, I can't really worry about that anymore."
The process is just like anyone else. It is what it is. It's a business. People want to work on their brand, new journeys, new stories, and I love that for her, and I'm glad that she's in a space that she's happy, healthy.
Wait a minute. You can't worry about your former teammate anymore? That's not normal teammate talk. That's what you say when there's been a falling out. When someone you used to be close with is now just someone you used to know. And it gets even more interesting. Aja mentioned they now have more honest conversations on the team. Let's translate that real quick. They weren't being honest with each other before. What exactly were they hiding? What tensions were bubbling under the surface during those championship runs that fans never saw?
And thriving in that. But at the end of the day, I can't really worry about that anymore. I got to worry about what's in this locker room and what we have going on, and that's what we continue to do is build on one another.
The timing of these comments is everything. The Aces didn't just lose Kelsey Plum, they lost key staff members and other players too. This wasn't just about one player leaving. This was about a championship team suddenly in crisis mode. If you watch the interview, Aja's body language tells its own story. She shifts uncomfortably, chooses her words carefully, almost like she's walking on eggshells. She's saying one thing with her mouth, but her body is screaming something completely different. It's the kind of calculated response you give when you know people are analyzing every word.
When it comes to somebody like Kelsey Plum, she's coming off a difficult personal year, and she's emphasized that she wants to take time for herself.
Remember last season when cameras caught Plum looking frustrated on the bench during several games? Everyone chalked it up to a competitive player having off nights. But now it looks like those moments were early warning signs of the storm that was brewing. So here's the real question. If Wilson is being this diplomatic in front of cameras, what's she saying when they're off?
That Kelsey Plum want out of Las Vegas, and Becky Hammond possibly knew about it like a month ago.
What conversations are happening in the locker room now that Plum is gone? What Aja Wilson actually did was masterful PR work. She said just enough to sound supportive while making it crystal clear that there's a rift between them. Her words weren't just nice. They were a subtle way of saying, we've moved on without you, and honestly, we might be better for it. Behind Kelsey Plum's departure from the Aces lies a story most basketball fans never saw coming. When an Olympic gold medalist and WNBA champion walks away from a dynasty in the making, you have to wonder what's really going on beneath the surface. The truth is way more complicated than anyone's saying publicly. Let's be real. The Aces weren't just casually looking for a trade. They were actively working to find a situation where everybody's happy, according to Becky Hammond herself.
I just think Kelsey Plum wants to get the hell away from Las Vegas, bro. She want out of the city. She want out of this organization.
That's not something teams say when everything's sunshine and rainbows. That's what gets said when there's serious tension that can't be fixed with a team meeting and some group hugs. The numbers tell part of the story. Plum, despite being one of the league's most dynamic guards, was often the third option in Vegas behind Aja Wilson and sometimes Jackie Young. Think about that. You're an elite scorer who can light up any defense in the league, but you're constantly waiting your turn behind other stars. Night after night, watching shots go elsewhere while you know what you're capable of. That's gotta wear on you over time.
A player is going to be cored. We're often given a clear indication of what that player wants, you know? Fatu made it clear unrivaled, she's done in Dallas.
Then there's the Hammond factor. Becky Hammond runs a tight ship with a specific system. It works. Those championships prove it. But not every player thrives under that kind of structure. Some stars need more freedom to create, more opportunities to showcase their full skill set. Was Plum feeling restricted? The evidence suggests she might have been chafing under those limitations. The timing of everything is super suspicious too. Plum suddenly drops out of the unrivaled league right when all this is happening. The official reason? Her cigar company needed attention.
Out of Unrivaled, which letting the world know that she was not taking part in that, but a lot of people were speculating that was because of her cigar company. Since passing, Kelsey Plum got the hell out of Dodge, man. She left Las Vegas and pretty much haven't really spoken about it, man.
But come on, the timing lines up perfectly with what looks like exit planning from the Aces. And Plum isn't the only one heading for the door. The Aces are hemorrhaging talent, losing their GM and assistant coaches on top of players. This isn't just one star deciding to bounce. It's starting to look like a mass exodus from what should be a happy, successful organization.
Becky Hammond is pretty much catering to none other than Aja Wilson like she always is. And Kelsey Plum probably just got tired of playing third fiddle.
So was Plum escaping a sinking ship? Or was she just tired of standing in Aja Wilson's shadow while the spotlight and offensive touches went elsewhere? The evidence points clearly to a star player who wanted center stage instead of being the supporting act in someone else's show. And just like that, we're watching the end of a dynasty in real time. What started with Aja's comments has snowballed into something much bigger.
Why she said that she pulled out of Unrivaled, so we're not necessarily in the position to, with respect to what she said, to ask her directly.
Becky Hammond has also been on record saying that the Las Vegas Aces was going to look like a completely different team for the 2025 season.
Coach Hammond dropped a bombshell recently, saying the Aces will look completely different in 2025. That's not just coach speak, that's admission of a total rebuild. Think about it. A back-to-back championship team is about to be dismantled. Will they still dominate without their star guard, or is this the beginning of the end for Vegas? Was Plum right to jump ship, or should she have stayed to chase another ring? Let me know what you think in the comments.